What's up, y'all? We back here with the Aaron Gordon podcast. I'm here with my boy Zay. How's it going, man? Everything all good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. So obviously, you have a lot going on right now, a lot of big decisions to make and a lot of good stuff going on. So, let's just start talking about, the basics. How'd you grow the love not with basketball, but how'd you grow the love with the game of football?
I really didn't play football though, seriously until I got to like my junior, senior year in high school. So I just fell in love with it because it became like an outlet to me. It's what I did to relieve stress, anxiety, or kept me away from different behavioral issues and stuff. So that's what I fell in love with.
So, growing up, what kind of things were you into, like middle school? What sport were you into the most? What sport did you pay attention to, growing up?
I switched to a whole bunch of different middle schools, two different middle schools, and then I was also in two different elementary schools. So I played a whole bunch of different sports. I've been played soccer, basketball, football. I wrestled. I did track. So it was just a large variety of things I did. So I still got to stick with football though, because I've always been outside and been in the field playing football. So that's what I got to stick with.
Yeah. So, why do you think you grew that love for the game? Being outside, a lot of contact. Why do you think you grew that love for a sport like that?
Cause I like to hit. I like to hit. So that was like the stress reliever to me. So being able to hit and release everything that was going on in my own world, my personal world, and that was like my outlet. So being able to hit and stuff, that was my release.
So, talk about, your last couple years of high school. Obviously, you didn't play your freshman, sophomore year, but, talk about your last 2 years of high school and how that went and, how'd you go about the process?
So my last 2 years, I transferred to North Central High School. I only got to play a couple games my junior year, and then my senior year, I played the full season. I was playing at defensive back, and then the coach there had me on all the special teams. So I was really balling out on the special teams side, because at first, like football, trying to understand it and stuff, it was like math to me, because that's not my favorite subject, and it's something that I struggle with. So being able to like fully understand it was like math to me and stuff. So it was like, shoot, I'm still trying to play. I'm still trying to continue this. So what I got to do next? So I know I sat down with some coaches. They talked to me about it. Furthering my career with it in college and stuff. So I looked at different colleges and stuff. And from the small amount of film that I had, different college coaches, they loved it. And they was looking at stuff they could work on with me with. So I was looking at Kentucky State University. I was looking at University of Southern Indianapolis, Ball State, Tuskegee, and Central State.
So, go through that process of your senior year. Obviously, you didn't play too much your junior year, like you said, but, were you kind of nervous? What was your mental mindset going into your senior year, not having any offers and not knowing your entire situation going forward?
Well, I was a little nervous on like what's next. Is this going to be something serious to me? Is this something I'm going to take serious? But I felt like I was going to be comfortable with it also because of the athlete that I was in film. So that's what coaches go off of, really, is stats and film. So them seeing the film, they took a chance on me, and it's what I'm going to do next going into my freshman year. So
talk about choosing Central State. What was the process like, and what was the difference makers of choosing schools?
Well, Central State, it really wasn't my first option because I didn't really know anything about Central State at all. I was looking at, like I said, the other schools and stuff. So my next option was Kentucky State University. So going to Kentucky State, I know like for like grade issues and stuff, that was really messing my stuff up. So it was like, dang, and they wasn't trying to really offer me a full ride there. So I hit up Central State because my brother went to school across the street. I did a little visit and stuff, talked to the coaches, and they was able to work with me and stuff going to my freshman year.
So when you step on campus, obviously, you guys went on campus over the summer, right? That's
Yeah.
somewhere. Okay, so what was that like? Your first training camp, your first practice. Take me through your emotions and all the crazy stuff that went down, because a lot of people don't know, what it's like your first collegiate practice.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. At first, man, you still with me?
Yeah.
All right. So at first, uh, going into camp, that's a moment I'll never forget. They started telling us we had to be up at 5 a.m. We had to be up sometimes at 4:30 a.m. It was like, oh nah. So it was one week I woke up and I was like, man, am I serious? Is this something I'm seriously gonna do? Am I
Yeah.
going for real try to get down and do this, man? Because I was never used to waking up that early. And shoot, back then we was doing 2 days, so at first I was ready to be like, this ain't for me, but I had to stick it out because, like I said, it's my outlet. I wanted to further my career with it. So
you talk about that. What made you feel like you wanted to stick it out? Like, what were some of the things that, like, man, I think I really want to do this?
because I've always loved being a student athlete, and also I didn't want to try to drop football and then go back into my old ways of doing stuff. So keeping football all 4 years that I've been at Central State is really helped me. And being a student athlete, I've been a 3.8 GPA student there. I've gotten really involved in stuff. I've been the face of the athletic department for the football team and stuff. So that was my little way to go for that.
Sure. So, obviously, you went through a season, and, talk to me about your first game. What was that like? What was game day like? Obviously, a lot of people dream of playing a college, football game on a Saturday. What was that experience like?
It was fun. We played University of Dayton, D1 school. I was
Mm.
nervous at first. Only thing I was really nervous about was messing up or making a mistake. But I know I did. I balled out that game. I had like 3 or 4 tackles off of special teams on kickoff, and I punted too my freshman year. So I had a okay game. That's my first time punting. But like I said, it was just I was nervous just making small mistakes or anything like that.
So, walk me with me through, that day before. What were your emotions like? Was it hard for you to sleep that Friday night? And what did you do? Were you just talking on the phone to everybody? That's something that a lot of people do. You listen to music, or do you go to sleep really early, or you wait till late? What was that process like for you?
I was up, like I couldn't sleep. I was excited and stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember one of my teammates was my roommate, so I was just up talking to him the whole time, like, okay, this is what I got to do, and we was going over the playbook and stuff. Um, just up. I was geeking ready, but I was nervous at the same time.
Yeah. So talk to me. Obviously you had your freshman year. Talk to me. Your sophomore year. What was that like? Obviously you got some more time under your belt. What was that process like?
My sophomore year is when the coaches they started, like I said, they started to see more in me and stuff. So they seen I was ready to hit and stuff. So they started me. I was at second string first at defensive back, and I was still punting that game, other games during my sophomore year. But that's when they moved me to defensive back was my sophomore year.
So obviously, talk to that about that move to defensive back. Why do you think you succeeded with that? Why do you think the coaches chose for you to move to that position?
Because of my speed, also during practices they could see that I could cover. Whether we was in zone in practice, whether it was in man, they seen I could cover, so they wanted to put me there.
So was that process like when they tell you that they want to switch positions? Did they just tell you in like a meeting, or did they just switch you out on in practice, or they just have like a one play you were just on, and next minute they just say, okay, we want to experiment? Talk to us about that
I remember
process.
it was during a practice. The coach said he told me I'm gonna be moving, and working with the defensive back coach. So it was just doing a practice.
So obviously talk about your junior and senior year. Obviously, two really good years. Talk to us about that, and what led you through a successful career overall.
So going into my junior and senior year, also I was I was covering good my sophomore year, but like I said, I was the person that was gonna hit. I was always taught you either gonna hit or be hit. So I was, like I said, I'm a hitter. So they also said, I mean, he's an athlete, so they moved me to outside linebacker. That was my junior year, so I was switching from the defensive back to outside linebacker, just different plays. And also because of my speed, they had me rushing most of the time as an outside linebacker. So that was during my junior year. And then going into my senior year, I was still punting. And then they stuck with me for the outside linebacker because I was always in the hole hitting and punting. So I really slowed down kind of on the free safety side and stuck with the outside linebacker and punting.
All right, so talk to us about your last year. Obviously, a lot of great stuff happened. So talk to me about the success that you had and what you plan on doing now. How is the process going of playing professional football? Going through the process of getting an agent and all that stuff.
So came to the end of my senior year. It was an okay season. I came off of an injury. I feel like I wasn't being very patient because I had the injury. They told me I was going to be out for like 7 to 9 months, but I just wanted to get right back into it. So I got back into it. I played just this last season. I felt like I did okay. I could have done way better if I would have set out. I feel like, but I just kept it pushing. So after that, I know during the end of the season, we also had teams come in, team scouts come in. They talked to some of the players. I had talked to the Browns. The only people I talked to was the Browns. Then after that, I started getting invited to a whole bunch of different combines, spring leagues, stuff like that. So I got into the HBC bowl game / combine. I did that. I talked to the Browns. I talked to the Eagles. And I talked to Houston also. They said they love my performance. They love what they seen on special teams and stuff like that. They asked me some just general questions. Said they was going to keep in contact with me and stuff. Then I got to doing the national scouting combine. Those are just a whole bunch of different combines and pro days and stuff that I had got invited to. During the national scouting combine, I heard from the BC Lions and stuff. And like I said, I did good at the combine. I feel like on my results, I did great on. The only thing I really struggled on was my 40. Coming off an injury, I never got a chance to really work on my explosion and my speed and stuff. So I did okay on my 40. That's probably the only thing I really didn't like. But other than that, they said they liked what they see. And so now I'm just here at this point waiting. It's draft week.
Yeah.
Just waiting for a call.
So, we're, obviously the draft is coming up, but, what are some of the things that you're working on right now on your own? Obviously, before we start talking about, what we're doing, what we're working out at, talk about some of the things that you're doing and what you're, focusing on when you work
out. Right now, I'm working on just my explosion and my speed. I'm at this field called Athletes in Action here in Ohio. So right now I'm just working on my explosion, my speed. That's it, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Just stay in shape.
Yeah, so obviously, what is that like? Is it kind of tough to stay in shape at this point, or is it, this another thing, just another day and same thing?
Keeping up with the weights and stuff. Part of it, I feel like that's probably the most difficult time because there ain't no gyms and stuff open. So I'm just at the field doing what I can.
Yeah, so talk to us about the processes of getting your agent. What was that like? Obviously, a lot of people would want to hear about that because I know a lot of people that are going to listen to this interview. They haven't had the luxury of going through that process of getting an agent, and talk to us about what that process is like and some of the things you have to go through to do that.
So it all really started from just really being out there. So I didn't really hear from anybody after the HBCU bowl game. I didn't really hear from anybody. Like a month or two later, that's when I did the National Scouting Combine. I really did good in, there. We had more CFL scouts and stuff there than we did like NFL scouts. So they talked to me. They asked me if I had any agents or anything. I was like, nah, I don't. So I talked to a couple of agents while I was there, but it was really nothing serious. I was looking into them, seeing what they offered and stuff like that. Then one day, agency OTG Sports Management, they reached out to me. They said they got in contact with me from a colleague in the CFL. They said that they like what they see also from the film that they got. They said that they wanted to work with me. So just did a little bit of research, got back to them and started working with them. I feel like they offered me the best stuff when it came to the contract.
For sure. So obviously you're looking forward to going to the NFL. Talk about some of the people that you look up to, some of the people whose games you think your style is regulates and similarities of players in the NFL right now. Like who do you think you can see yourself being similar to in the NFL?
I don't really like to say I try to play like a person because I'm my own person. I like to be myself, and if I do try to mock my way into what they do, just be better than that. But I would have to say Bobby Wagner. I would have to say Bobby Wagner. Great athlete, great player. I'll have to say him or Deion Jones probably.
So what position do you plan on playing in the NFL?
They got me listed as linebacker / DB. And then after that, special teams, I'm a blocker and gunner.
So, what do you think that jump is going to be like at the professional level? What do you think is going to be a change? Because you've been to NFL games before. So, what do you think the intensity is going to be like to take that next jump?
I feel like the intensity is going to be high. But once you become a professional athlete, it's an everyday thing. That's your new lifestyle. So I feel like it's going to come with ease. I'm going to be in my playbook all the time. That's all it is after that. It's football. That's your lifestyle. So I feel like it's going to come with ease.
So, how's it right now just managing school and football right now? Because I know that's probably got to be the hardest thing for, to worry about all this and then still worry about school on top of that.
I would say it's kind of difficult. I know during times when it came to like the HBCU bowl game and then the National Scouting Combine, it was during weeks that we had classes and stuff. So I had to talk to my professors and stuff about if I can make up the work, make up tests, stuff like that. And you don't really get to expand and do all the opportunities that are thrown at you. Like I got an opportunity that was paid for to do the spring league all the way in Nevada, but I didn't get to do that because I was going to be gone for 2 weeks. So it's something that you have to balance out.
So a good question is what in your football career, what do you want to be known for outside of football? Obviously there's a ton of great stuff, but what do you look forward to in your career in general?
I want to be looked at for my leadership and the person I am on and off the field. Being a role model and stuff to others.
So, in saying that, what are some things that you plan on doing, when you were playing professionally? What are some of the things you have planned out outside of the field?
Outside of the field, it's a lot. I've always wanted to give back to my community and what I can do for other athletes and stuff. So whether it's setting up different programs back in Indianapolis for athletes, whether they're in high school or middle school, and doing a transition for them. So it's different all the time. You're gonna have a transition for people playing football in middle school, trying to play in high school, and then transition for high schoolers trying to play in college, and just seeing what I'm able to do for different athletes like that.
So, what are you majoring in, and what do you plan on using it for? Because obviously, a lot of people majoring in graduate.
Yeah, I'm majoring in physical education with a minor in biology. I plan on one day getting my master's in sports administration. I want to go back and work in the athletic department, whether it's in high school for college and just do something around that, or being the athletic director.
So you wouldn't want to coach?
I could see myself coaching, but not for that long. I could see myself more working inside of an athletic department for a long term.
Mm-hmm. Dang. So, what else you got planned, here? I mean, where are you going to celebrate the draft party at? What do you plan on doing in terms of that?
Well, shoot.
Because there's not
Draft
much you
party, I was
can
thinking
do.
about going back. Yeah. I mean, right now, because of the situation that's going on, I'm talking to different people. Everything's on hold. So if I do end up hearing back from a team, I want to do something back at home and just bring some friends and family out just to celebrate.
So did the draft process come at you really fast, or, did you feel like you were prepared for this a long time?
I say it came at me fast. Everything came at me fast. Really after the little bowl games and stuff. That's when everything starts to be thrown at you. Whether people is interested in you, whether it's how you perform. So whether people's interested in you, if you're gonna have scouts talking to you, just stuff like that.
So was that kind of nerve-wracking? All that stuff happened at the same time, or was it just part of your process?
You said what again?
Was it kind of nerve-wracking, or did you feel like all that stuff was just a part of the process?
It's all a part of the process. It's just like a job interview. It's all a part of the process. I mean, it can come fast, it can come slow, or it just can come on time. And I feel like it just is all a part of the interview.
So, what would you tell someone who else is in your shoes similar to yours in the next years up to come?
I would tell them, don't give up. Go hard at what you do. Make yourself noticeable, because as long as you're making yourself noticeable, people are always going to be watching what you say, watching what you do, how you carry yourself, and that goes from high school to college, and college to the next level. So keep faith if you're trying to play at the next league. Focus your mind and just be ready.
For sure. So tell everyone where they can follow you at.
On Instagram and Twitter, they can follow me at Zay the Celeb.
And what about Facebook? Do you have Facebook, or that's just too old for you?
Nah, I got Facebook. I got people I know on there though, like just my friends and family. But it's Isaiah Allen on Facebook.
All right, for sure. So, all right, man, this is my guy Zay. See, that's where everyone calls you back home, Zay. So,
yeah. Yes, sir.
So make sure y'all go follow him and wish him luck on this draft process. Thank everyone for tuning in, and thank you for taking your time out to do this interview.
Appreciate it, man.
For sure.